Hello, Chassos. You know what I love so much about 40k? I can have every bit of knowledge of Tau that I think I could possibly have. I have a go first win rate of 100% on Tau. That's not even an exaggeration. Jay, put up the stats from the app. I have an incredible win rate on Tau across 10th edition. Even through the dark ages of Eldari, I was undefeated against them. And yet, there is still something that I can learn from our best in faction, Kyle Grundy. I was browsing YouTube during one of my insomnia nights where I was having trouble going to sleep, and I come across the Pure Tide Program YouTube channel, which is where our best in faction, #1 in the world ITC Tau player, Kyle Grundy, does his coaching service and everything else, and obviously was showing a bit of the coaching that he did. And the maneuver that he showed, I had never, ever thought to do, and it was incredible. Now, I'm not looking to steal his content, so I'm going to have a link in the description to that video. Go and check out the Pure Tide program. Go and show Kyle some love. He's doing some amazing stuff over there. And if you're looking at getting some coaching done, that is the rank 1 ITC player in the world. So, you know, there's probably a lot you could learn from them. So head over to that video and go and watch what he talks about. Go and... What are you doing sitting there looking at me? Go and watch the damn video!
Stop moving your stupid mouth and get out!
Anyway, now that you've watched the video and you've seen the Grundy maneuver, let's actually talk about that. I'm going to pull up TTS, and there's a few things that I want to highlight. Not that he, missed or didn't talk about or whatever else, but just a few musings that I've had in my own brain about how genius this is and how versatile and flexible this particular maneuver is. Okay, so here we are on Tabletop Simulator. I've just loaded up something that I was using for coaching with one of my chassos. Speaking of, if you are looking for coaching and you love a beautiful Cyclops to take you through everything, you can either buy coaching through my website. I'll leave a link down in the description where you can purchase a session with me and we'll work out a time and whatever else, or patrons get a special Discord channel where they can speak to me about it. Patrons also get the entry cost of a Chaswi tier membership off any coaching sessions that they buy, including multiple. So if you know you're already going to want coaching, the Patreon or YouTube membership is a great way to get an automatic discount to that and access to the Discord and a bunch of other benefits. So anyway, let's go on to this where he's talking about using Darkstrider and the Pathfinders. Now, I'm not going to talk about what the actual maneuver is because I don't want to steal views from Kyle. Please go to the link in the description and watch what he does. It's a small amount of time and he explains it just as well as I possibly could, but this is his own idea. So when we're looking at this entire thing, actually, I've already got some devilfishes set up, so let's just use those. The general premise of being able to have deployment denial is incredibly important in the current landscape of the game. So being able to string out a Pathfinder unit to be able to block out the center of the board is incredibly important. Let's move these little pricks back. Is incredibly important with the landscape of the game as we see it at the moment. There are so many armies that are able to do janky things or block us with pre-game moves or deployment or whatever else. So playing that initial deployment screening game is incredibly important. And then being able to have the flexibility. Now, obviously, this isn't like a proper ITC or WTC table in terms of terrain, but still using it anyway. The flexibility of being able to move a Devilfish up with a pre-game move and then have Pathfinders safely jump back in it all before the battle starts is incredible. Now, I was talking about in a previous video that I did while my PC was down, it was just random ramblings with my phone camera, but talking about the Pathfinders and the rail rifles being able to pre-game move aggressively 7 inches forward and then be able to stand still and get the heavy bonus as well as the guided bonus and whatever else to throw some 3 damage shots down at these people and everything. That's still intact and that's an option. But if I don't go first, being able to have them get back and then one thing that I think that Kyle didn't highlight as much because he was in the middle of a coaching session, and we've all been here where presenter brain takes over and there's some things you would like to talk about that just, fall to the wayside because people are asking questions or whatever, is that you are functionally getting, when they end within 3, that 7-inch move, even if it brings them back here, because you jump into the vehicle and then you can get out 3 inches on the other side in your movement phase, you gain about 7 inches of movement in total, maybe more, because the full width of a devilfish is about 4 inches. So you actually get about 10 inches of movement, because 3 on one side, go the 4 inches for the devilfish, and then 3 on the other is 10 inches of movement. That means that including your pre-game and your movement phase, you are going an enormous distance with Pathfinders, which also means in terms of, and this is something that I'm going to be talking about in coaching sessions with chassos and everything else, is, identifying your strong side and your weak side of the board. That allows you to have something which makes your opponent think that this is going to be your strong side. And then immediately, 7 inches over, 3 inches out, 7 inches with their normal move, all of a sudden you're immediately on the other side of the board using that devilfish as a go-between. It's like a little teleportation device that allows you to go super far. And if the devilfish is oriented like this, you're going an extra 5 inches. So that's actually 11 inches that you're getting because of the length of the devilfish. That is really, really good. And your opponent having to keep up with this, there's not a lot of opponents that are going to be tracking that, and using it isn't a gotcha, because everybody knows that, units can move in range of a transport and get into it. Obviously, newer players aren't going to know that you can do that because the pre-game move counts as a normal move. You're eligible to embark, but that's just knowledge of core rules. That's not something that's specific to your army. That's something that anybody can do, which means that there's a lot of unforced errors that you can make around making somebody think that you're going one way and then going the opposite direction. Seriously, Kyle, for thinking of this, is absolutely a genius, and I can 100% see why he is our rank 1 Tau player. So just wanted to, signal boost a couple of these things and just talk about why the Grundy Maneuver is just such a fantastic use of so many overlapping rules and using Tau in a very, very unique way. I think this is absolutely fantastic, being able to get breaches where you want them to go, devilfish further up, and then using their move to potentially get further than you otherwise could, puts a lot of pressure onto enemies, and just really, really fantastic. I loved watching it. I was so ecstatic that I was able to learn something on a faction that I would consider myself having an expert level hold of. But there's always more to learn. And that is something that makes me love this game more and more every time I interact with it. So thank you to Kyle for putting this out into the world and showing us other chassos things that we can do. Please go and show the Pure Tide program some love, and Kyle himself. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do the normal internet things and like and share and whatever else, or don't. I'm not your dad. Thank you to all of my patrons and YouTube members who make all of my videos possible. They will be on screen now. You guys absolutely keep the channel pushing forward. If you would like to join them, there are links down in the description. They get a bunch of extra stuff, including their name up on a banner at the teams event that I'm running in March, and they will have their names on banners for every tournament that I run. As I now own my own terrain, this will actually be quite a few times in the year. So with that, let me know what you think of the Grundy Maneuver. I'm really, really excited to use this in my own games. Darkstrider and Pathfinders have been going up in terms of stonks quite a bit, and I'm really excited to have them on the table as the Darkstrider model looks incredible. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.